Welcome to Embrace the Spiritual Podcast. Join friends Michelle and Dawn as they share tips on how you too can open your heart, raise your vibration, and reclaim your sovereignty. Hear what they have experienced and overcome in their spiritual journeys while navigating this expansive spiritual multiverse. Discover how they transform their soul lessons from ordinary into extraordinary.
Follow, subscribe, and share Embrace the Spiritual Podcast on all streaming services, including YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Go to embracethespiritual.com for bonus content and a list of upcoming episodes. To book an aura regression, raw Reiki, or Akashic reading with Dawn, go to her website, alchemy-sacredsound.com. And to book an aura regression, raw Reiki, Akashic reading, or to do a home or pet clearing, visit Michelle on her website at energetisembrace.com. Welcome back. Here we are, 2024. Oh my gosh, what a year this is going to be, folks. We have all of these magical things that have converged into this point in time. We are coming into the Chinese year of the dragon, specifically the wood dragon we'll talk about. The year 2024, if you're into numerology, you add up the digits, it is an 8 year. 8 has its own numerology aspects. And from a Chinese perspective specifically, 8 is very lucky. So we wanted to start off Season 3, we said it was going to be magical. So no surprise, we're going to talk about this. We honestly didn't even know what we were going to talk about until we started this episode, because we wanted to wait until 2024 was upon us and that we could tap into the energy of this year to start recording Season 3. Oh my gosh, Dawn was telling me that coming into 2024, so New Year's Eve, as we'll call it, telling me the story that she's had so many dragons already coming in. We all have dragons, and I think we've talked about this, but we'll definitely do an episode on magical creatures because you need to tap into your dragon. And I think Aurora actually has a meditation to connect to your dragon. So I'll actually add that to our Embrace the Spiritual website so that you can do that meditation and connecting with your dragon, because you are going to want to tap into that energy because change is coming, success is coming, and it is there if you want to take it.
Yes, it is such a magical year. There were so many dragons leading me into 2024. Gold dragons, like you, any color of the rainbow and beyond. It is the energy I was feeling. And as I'm talking, like I can feel them tickling me. So
I know I keep rubbing my nose. You can't see us on, because you're only listening to audio, but we're recording in video.
We have definitely dragon goosebumps going on for us. And it's interesting because I did a aura for someone and I had aura done, and I actually tapped into a dragon from a far away dimension. He was beautiful, and it has been so easy since I met him to tap in. He is like 120 feet long, gold green, and beautiful energy. I had a mission I can't talk about. So the dragon energy has been like ramping up. And we all know in the United States, this is a election year. There's going to be a lot of talk about that. There's going to be a lot of talk about so much stuff. So before I get carried away, not only is this the year of the dragon, but it is the year of the wood dragon, which is a rare combination of the dragon's power and the wood creation. And I guess this is not going to happen for another 60 years. So this is how special this year is. It is a year to pursue your dreams, express your ideas, and expand your horizon. It is also a year to be generous, compassionate, and loyal to your friends. I mean, with what we do, we try to be compassionate and loving to everybody. I mean, the stuff that I, do in my meditations for humanity and for the children, I feel like it's going to be echoed throughout all the universe, since this year is just so powerful. And I hope that you all, even though it's not Chinese New Year yet, but the energy you can tap into, because time does not exist on the dimensional realm. Someplace else, it's already February 10th, 2024. So we're just creating that by tapping into the energies, and they are electric. They're like getting zapped with like good electricity. If you could imagine that. So it's not like a bad feeling. It's like this like zippity zap energy of I want to do stuff. I want to get stuff done. This is going to be a big, big year. So I hope you all are ready for it.
And I'm glad you brought up the fact that technically the Chinese New Year starts on February 10th. And like Dawn said, and we've mentioned this in past episodes, and we'll definitely do an episode about timelines and time in general, the quantum realm, because time doesn't exist. And we have to put a linear on it because that's how we're living in the 3D. But I wanted to point out for those of you that are maybe new to magical creatures, the dragon itself. So here's why this is so special. The dragon symbolizes power, nobleness, honor, luck, and success. So from a traditional Chinese culture perspective, that is the symbolization that they put on the dragon. It is a supernatural being and is unrivaled as far as talent and excellence. And the fact is, we all have a dragon, multiple dragons, some of us, but everyone has a dragon. Even if you feel like you're imagining what color it is, that's what color it is. If you feel like it's gold, it's gold. Or if it's purple, there is no limit on what color a dragon can be. So, of course, in movies and shows, they're symbolized like the typical kind of dark green and whatnot. But when we're talking magical creatures, they are energy, and energy is a kaleidoscope of colors, so to speak. From the Chinese zodiac perspective, because that's really what we're talking about right now. The year of the dragon is the Chinese zodiac. So those angel babies that are coming in, born in 2024, obviously is a dragon year. 2012 birth year, 2000. So my son is actually a dragon year. I'd actually forgotten that. So thanks for pointing that out. 1988, year I graduated. That's kind of cool, from high school. 1976, 1964. So my sister-in-law, 1952. If you were born in one of these years, your Chinese zodiac sign is a dragon. So all of us can tap into the dragon energy, but that is just that much more special that you were born in as a dragon zodiac, a Chinese zodiac. And I just love it. So as Dawn said, 2024 is the wood dragon. So each of these years, 2012 was a water dragon, 2000 is a gold dragon, 1988 was an earth dragon, 1976 birth year was a fire dragon. So 1964 was the last time it was a wood dragon. So that's why Dawn pointed out, this takes a lot of years before you see a wood dragon again. So that is the cycle: wood, fire, earth, gold, water, wood again. So it's going to be a while. Take advantage. We're going to give you some tips of what you can do to take advantage of this year, because it is magical. And we wanted to first speak to it more because you're going to be seeing on social media Year of the Dragon. And we just wanted you to know what it really meant, what it's all about.
There's so many things you can do to bring that dragon energy in. If you're thinking, I'm not that spiritual, I don't know what to do, you could buy dragon crystals. I actually gifted dragon crystals for Christmas. I bought a 3-piece dragon for my husband, and I gave one for like his birthday, our anniversary, and he got his last piece on Christmas this year.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm such a tease. But he loved it. He's like, I can't wait until my, Christmas, because he didn't know which one he was going to get until he got it. So his dragon is now complete. I also bought, my daughters, I bought them dragons as well. Just bring that dragon energy in. Remember, if you buy a crystal dragon, that dragon also has so I bought one that was black obsidian, which is going to clear negative energy. And this person I gifted it to has lots of negative energy. Set that intention for that dragon to help this person clear it out. And then I'm trying to think what the other dragon was that I bought. Might have been hematite. Again, It's a balancer. I have teenage daughter, definitely needs balance. Sometimes emotions run high, emotions run low. So, and then I got 2 more birthdays coming up. I got some really cool dragons. I'm not sure what kind of crystal it is. It's like dark purple on the bottom, white on top. It could be dyed, because I know, but still, it's really cool. And it just felt right. Like felt like, the dragons want to be in our sacred spaces. So I'm bringing them in that way. You can also, so the dragon meditation from Aurora that we're going to be posting, you can do that. Dragons will come to you in other forms. You will see them in the clouds. I have pictures of dragons in the clouds I've taken. If you look at water, you can sometimes see them in the water. When I was at my other property, there was something outside that I kept seeing out of the corner of my eye. I think it was a dragon, but it wouldn't present itself. And since I'm in the mountains, obviously there's going to be a lot of dragons because dragons are associated with the mountains. I've been on a road trip, and in my mind's eye, I see this huge dragon like sitting on top of a mountain. And it was like covering the mountaintop. And it's not just seeing in your mind's eye. That's how it presented itself to me. You feel it, you sense it. We obviously can feel them. Something's tickling your hair, your nose is itching, you have unexplained tickling. Most likely a dragon, since they are very playful and loving. Pay attention. It's not just like, oh, I got a bug bite. If there's no sign that you got bit by a bug, it's something else. It is a magical creature and they want to come back. I've been talking to them. We forgot them and they're sad. We turned our back on them for so long and they are here and they want to be heard. Not in a like we want to be heard angry way, but in a kind, loving, they just want to be remembered. We were friends. We used to do things together. They used to lead us on adventures. We used to play together. And now we don't even talk to them. We desecrate the land. We destroy their homes and they want to be remembered. So what a beautiful year to, embrace the dragons and embrace all the magical creatures that are out there that want to be remembered. Let's take the time. Let's go in places of nature and connect with the land and talk to them.
I love that you brought up that was tickling because it reminded me the other day we were driving somewhere and I kept like scratching my head. And so my husband said, like, do you have dandruff or something? You keep scratching your head. And I didn't think anything of it until just now. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the dragons. Like, because they kind of play with my hair.
They do.
And, they might be different for other people, but it was like it kept itching my head. So yeah, I felt like I had dandruff or something. My head was all itchy. And so that was them playing. It was pretty cute.
Sense, because I didn't realize my hair always would move, but I thought there was like a bug in it. And I would, do the feel. So they have been with me since I was little. And I just did not know because I did not come from an awakened family.
Yeah. So just be aware of that. If your nose always tickles or you just feel like something's kind of rubbing you, then you know what? Just embrace it. It's kind of cool. They're trying to get your attention. I love that you bought dragon crystals. And I wanted to add some more information on that. So there is crystals, and I can add this link to the website just so you can see it as information. Not that I'm necessarily promoting you shop there, but it's a good website to put this on. There is a stone called a dragon stone. So it's a type of epidote. So EPIDOTE that's got red. I know I'm going to not pronounce this correctly. Piemontite, PIEMONTITE. So it has a whole bunch of green, which kind of is the typical dragon color that we see in shows, with some red in it. It's super cool. If you can find one of these, get it for this year because it is a natural magnifier of any and all energy in the environment and attracts what you output. So the caveat on this, and we're going to talk about this more in upcoming episodes because it's such a powerful year, that if it's going to magnify what you're putting out there, you need to be really mindful of what you're putting out there. So conscious languaging, like we keep hammering that concept. And if you need to go back and as a reminder, listen to that episode in season 1, please do so because conscious languaging. And when I say conscious languaging, I'm not just talking about the physical words that we are saying. It is your thoughts. It is your actions that you're putting out there, that is all languaging your physical body. This stone can be really powerful as far as that manifesting perspective. It activates and unlocks your heart. John was just talking about the dragons. They're happy that we are finally remembering them. So this stone can help you rejuvenate and heal your heart and your emotional body. This is where you do have to be careful having this because, like I said, if you're having a bad day and your energy output is very negative, then, put this dragon stone to the side until you're able to take that moment to work on yourself, release whatever negativity you're feeling. This is a very powerful manifestation tool. Folks, if there is ever a year to manifest, if you've been holding off for something, do not wait. This is your year. And this dragon stone would be a fabulous one. And if you partner it up with the clear quartz crystal, because clear quartz crystal will amplify any other stone. So be careful because that's a pretty powerful combination. So make sure that you are ready to use that tool. It's just that reminder. This dragon stone is a reminder that anything's possible. Meditate with this stone, put it on your heart, take those long, deep breaths and imagine this is where imagination isn't just for kids that we say, go use your imagination, draw something. We should be using our imagination every day because imagination, we've kind of associated it with that almost wishful thinking. Well, yeah, wish away. It's not, you want to imagine, if it's a beach vacation you're imagining or a beach home, whatever it can be. So I just wanted, and also because this dragon stone helps with your heart, you could also pair it with rose quartz because the rose quartz, of course, is connected to your heart chakra. So that combination, of course, rose quartz itself, but plus the dragon stone could be a really powerful tool to help with grief, sorrow, trauma. And this could help you finally push through maybe what shadow work you've been dealing with and trying to work through and finally push through it for that more positive future you. Not even future, right? Because time doesn't exist. So the now you, the today you, the person you are in the present.
And we started off with the number 10 as the day. So what are you going to complete in this year for yourself? What goals, what dreams, what are you going to do to help, what is going to be happening here in this world? How do you want to see it end this year? I mean, we have so many tools since we are in the beginning of this year. How do you want it to end? Do you want to go into 2025 feeling victorious? This is the best year of my life? I thought, I was reflecting, I was thinking, oh my goodness, 2023 was so great. I had so many beautiful auras to watch somebody's third heart chakra open. I felt so blessed. I mean, what are you going to accomplish this year? 2023 was amazing for me. I cannot wait to see what 2024 holds because it was such a great year and I didn't even expect it. I never expect anything. So I know people make resolutions for this year, but I always say, why don't you make a revolution for yourself? Why don't you make this year full of changes, full of things that you never thought you would do? Like last year, I never thought I would travel because I'm not that type. And I did so much traveling. I've traveled to 3 places by myself and a couple places with my husband. And I have more on the docket for this year that I know 2 are definitely going to be happening. Who knows what else is in store, what's coming up. It is such an exciting time. Be the joy and the love that this world needs, because Mother Gaia, she wants to heal. She's waiting for your energy to match her energy so we can amplify this healing. I know the state of the world is not what we want it to be, but we can be the change. No more wars. It happened before. Let's do it again. No more hatred from people's hearts. We are love. Why can't we all be love? Would you punch your neighbor in the face? If you would not punch your neighbor, why are we fighting? I mean, I'm just done with this narrative that we have been spoon-fed year after year after year. I'm done. Let's make a change. It starts with you. Please listen to the heart of the earth and be the change that is needed for this year.
Love it. You may have also seen, mentioned that 2024, you add the individual numbers, it adds to the number 8. The number 8 traditionally is seen as a very lucky number, meaning wealth and success. Like, hello, who doesn't want wealth and success? And remember, that doesn't just mean financially, monetarily. Wealth and success can be different for every person. It could be success in your work, maybe a promotion. Yes, that might mean more money. It might mean that maybe you have better success in your family. Who knows? Maybe some people start coming back together. There's been, as Dawn said, such divide. Remember, the division that has been happening over the last few years has been controlled messaging. If you don't like hearing that and it rubs you the wrong way, you know that it is something you need to look into, because that is what's happening. There is a division taking place, and it's been controlled messaging and actions that have pushed it that way. This is the time that we're coming back together. Let's take back control. Let's use this year of the dragon, the year of 8. Numerology, if you are at all interested in numerology, you are excited that this year is finally here. 8, I mean, if you think 8 is infinity, right? Lay it on its side, it's the infinity symbol. There's no coincidence in that 8 being lucky is infinity. We are the ones that put a finite boundary on what we feel we deserve. Stop doing that. Stop limiting yourself. You are an infinite soul. You deserve infinite wealth and success. We're the ones through free will who are putting the limitations around that. But the energy of the 8 is there for the taking, for those that are willing to do the work, to do their shadow work, to, shed what's not serving you. You can use this energy of this year to create the world you want to live in. And yes, not just your world, but as a collective, if we are all tapping into this energy for the positive, we can shift the timelines of the world. Now, every number obviously has its own meaning. Like Dawn said, January 1st ended up adding to a 10. It's completion of the old, what's been happening in the last few years. It's done. We are here shifting into a new way of being, a new way of living, raising our vibration, living more from our heart center. This has all come to this point in time. The strength of this number 8 is like ambition. Anything that maybe you thought was just outside of your reach, go for it. Go for it. It is there waiting for you to take it. The universe just needs to know that you actually want it. Because remember, the universe, it goes by intent, but it is pretty literal. If you want it, then let yourself know that you deserve to have it. From a karmic perspective, the number 8 is about giving back. So you think the infinity, right? What goes out and it's coming back, that it's a cycle of success, of continuously manifesting. So think of that number 8, infinite manifestation. And that's not about greed. Like, if you're already thinking that, then you're not operating in a balanced perspective. But it's also, the number 8 is a strength, capability, have patience and determination. Because if you're willing to go through, maybe there's some struggles on the way to getting that ultimate manifestation, but prosperity is on the other side. It is there for you. So I want to kind of go to the flip side of this. If you're operating not in your heart space and maybe a little bit in your thinking mind or your ego mind, then you're going to start to become entitled or materialistic or authoritative, maybe controlling. So if you're kind of identify these characteristics are starting to come through, it's your opportunity to stop and go, okay, I'm maybe not operating from my higher perspective, or I'm maybe on a path of not creating what I actually want. Wow, like there is just so much to this year. I've been so excited. As Dawn said, 2023 was fabulous. I had a great year. I'm using the energy of this year to take a great year to an even better year because the possibilities are there for me if I want to take them.
So true. Ask yourself, what do I want to create? And I know we've been taught like it's all about the money. That is programming. We have been programmed since we were little. Think about it, the holidays. I know it's supposed to be about gift giving. It's not. We tell our kids, what do we want? What do you want from Santa? That's receiving. We have been conditioned. It's about receiving. It's about getting what I want, want to get, those are empty things because when you leave here, you're not taking them with you. You know what you will take you with you? Your spiritual gifts, the growth that you had in this life. Are you going to stay stuck and stagnant and not be able to move on from this life to go someplace else wherever is needed? This is the year of growth. Why not take a chance? Grow yourself into who and what you want to become. Create the abundance in your soul that is needed to make you truly happy inside. Not this fake happiness of like, oh, I got this wonderful gift, but a true happiness that I'm content sitting with friends and not talking, but just enjoying the energy that we're all embracing. There's just so much. It's going to be such a big year. I can feel it. It feels amazing. I hope that you're listening and you can feel the energy that we are feeling as well. There's going to be so much change. And remember, just because it looks one way, it is not just one way. It could be another way. It's a year of learning as well. It's a year of questioning, I feel. Question everything. When you see or hear something, that's supposedly on the television, I automatically say, if it's true, let me see it happen. We're supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow. And I'm just like, it's clear outside. Show me. I don't believe it. We've had so many over exaggerated things to make you fearful. Are you going to feed into that fear? Or are you going to say, it's going to be a wonderful day? It all depends on your perspective, how things go. You can build from this energy and just let it build like a huge snowball going down a mountain and just enjoy the energy that is being created this year.
Be the change, really. Be the change that you want to see. And it's possible for everybody if you want it. And again, if you're putting out there the energy that, maybe the wishful thinking that's not from a good perspective, I'd really like that. And then in your mind thinking, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. You just canceled the two thoughts out. So an 8 year is about building, doing, creating, unlocking your personal power, getting through those obstacles through your sheer will and persist through it. Just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And the caveat on that is that make sure that you are manifesting from a perspective with intent of what is for my highest good. Because sometimes we want these things and we're all gung-ho to manifest it or bring it to fruition, and it's not for our highest good. Remember, the universe will determine how it happens. The how is not our business. Sometimes we're too specific when we're talking about manifesting that we want it to happen a certain way. It's got to look a certain way. But we close ourselves off to the potential of it looking different. So what is the feeling and the energy that you want ultimately to create? And as Dawn said, like that world that we're living in, if collectively, like listening to the weather, as she said, or yes, there's going to be, another war. Well, if we tap in and buy into the fear of that potential, it is a slippery slope because collectively it could be created if enough people are thinking about that timeline. And everything from our point in this moment, doesn't matter if you're listening to this podcast a month from now, doesn't matter. In the moment that you're listening to this, you have infinite possibilities ahead of you of timelines that could come to fruition. Certainly, some of them have a higher probability and some are very weak. And that is all it is. its potential. So we do really have to be mindful of what potentials we are giving our energy to. And it includes us jumping in and adding comments to maybe public posts about something, and you don't even necessarily have to agree with it, but because you're even speaking out against something on a public post, you have to be careful. You're still kind of feeding the energy of that post, even though you're opposing it. So be selective on where you spend your energy and who you give your energy to, because you are, this is hard not to tear up, you are such a beautiful creator being. And put it out there of who is deserving of your energy. And that's not being arrogant. Protect your energy. Who is deserving of your energy? And remove the programming of obligation of who we have to spend time with or agree with. No, be selfish if you want to use that word, but it's more about making yourself the priority in your world. And that is how you're going to create a world that is fitting and that you deserve.
That is so true. I know people always stress about the holidays. I had the best holiday ever. I did an Akashic reading, which was wonderful. I'm like, yes, and I didn't see any family except for those who live with me. And those who live with me went and they came back and they're like, best time it could have been, because they're not matching energies anymore. Once you start this momentum of changing your energy, you realize who you get along with and who you don't get along with. And that's not a bad thing. It's just saying, hey, your energy is so powerful. Who do you want to do what with? And that's not a bad thing. It's just how it is, and I know we all have jobs. So I'm trying to think, how can I give an example of, do you want to be like the person who does the garbage? Not saying it's a bad job, but is in the muck and dirty energy, chemicals and stuff, or just eating junk food? That's low energy. Or do you want to eat that nutritious, lovely, slow cooked, made with love meal? How do you want that energy coming into you to be? I can really feel it this year. I'm sure a lot of more people are going to be feeling it, and be mindful. I mean, I went shopping and it is a donation place. The energy was super low. It was like, we went in, we had a mission, and we accomplished it, and we're out. And even my husband was like, that energy is so low and frantic. It's hard to describe. It was just like, when you go into these places, you can almost read these people like desperation. What are we going to do? What if they had stopped and said, you know what? I'm appreciative of this place, that I can get things that I need and not spend a lot of money, because I want to do something else with what is being given to me. How that would change things so easily. We're giving you these tools so you can empower yourself and others to make that change. And because this is where it starts. It starts with us. People forget it starts with us. And I hope that you share our podcast, because it starts with you too.
Absolutely. It's like throwing a pebble into the water and the ripple effect, right? Until that pebble hits the water, that ripple from the pebble isn't going to exist. And transitioning from the year 2023, which was all about kind of that introspection and curiosity and spiritual speaking, 2024 being an 8-year is time to take that introspection, that inner work, and project it outwards, put it into action, because it is an empowering number. Instead of just kind of floating in that spiritual enlightenment, you're going to put it into a plan, a thought out plan, harness this energy. And here's a little quick practical tip that you can take. Visualize the number 8 or the infinity sign, maybe before you go ask for a raise or go on a job interview. Just visualize that number 8, the infinity. And I would recommend drawing with your middle finger. It's a powerful way to do this. You can draw it on a piece of paper and put it in your pocket or your wallet to increase wealth. I saw somewhere someone said, well, draw it on the sole of your shoe, so when you walk with abundance. I probably wouldn't draw it on my shoe, but you know what? Energetically, pull up each foot and with your finger, just the number 8. And it's 11:11 where I am and 1:11 where Dawn is. So look at that. You can't make this shit up, people. So use the 8. Draw it on your doorways. With your finger, draw it on the sole of your feet. Whatever it is, take the energy of 8 with you. And it's just all about productivity and power, but be mindful that you don't tip the scales into overworking. So the 8 is about balance from that center point, right? It's an equal shape on either side. So it is about balance. So make sure you have balance this year, being an 8 year. But it does add an element of ease and excitement to accomplish those visions that you've had. Do a vision board, get back to basics. I know that, a lot of people talk about resolutions and vision boards, and I'm sorry, there's probably 1% of the people that works for, and they're probably doing other things that help them be successful with, the typical New Year's resolutions. Like Dawn said, make it a revolution. Evolve. Don't just put a resolution that in the back of your mind you're thinking you can't accomplish anyways. It's like a fart in the wind, right? Like, let's face it, it's not going to do anything. So give yourself some goals for the year, visions like travel, like Dawn said. I have a year already, I've got, for sure, 1, 2, 3, 4 trips already planned. And I think I've got flights already booked for them. So it's already happening. There's another at least 2 trips that I have on the list. I just haven't actually booked flights or anything like that. So that is what I love to do as well. I love to travel. I'm okay traveling by myself and meeting up with beautiful friends, Dawn and other beautiful friends that we get to go on these retreats with. It fills my cup, and I know it does. So I look for the opportunities to do that, but I still look for it to be a meaningful trip as well. I'm not just going to drive somewhere. It's usually somewhere that's going to ultimately be a high vibrational trip for me. It might not start out that way. We've talked about going on these trips to do some transformational work. So the places aren't always high vibration that we go when we start, but the intent is we leave and it's high vibration. So we love to hear from you on social media with some of those things that you are going to manifest, or if you've created a vision board, share it with us. We want to hear from you. I think this is just so exciting. And through every episode, we're doing our best to give you those tips and tools to make these actionable things. And a lot of times we just need to be aware of them. And that's why we bring the awareness to you. And it's up to you, free will, to take it into action and go forward with it. I know my vision for our listeners is just for you to continue with personal growth and be the best that you can be and live on your highest vibrational timeline. And ultimately for you to shed what is no longer serving your highest purpose.
So good. The only thing I want to add is that I actually started last year, not realizing it was an 8 year, adding the infinity symbol. So I add a golden infinity symbol going vertical and horizontal and meeting in the middle to my shielding. So that's the only thing that I can think of adding to Michelle's beautiful talk. So thank you for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Join us next episode as we talk about timelines and how you can continue to raise your vibration to live on your highest possible timeline. Follow, subscribe, and share Embrace the Spiritual podcast on all streaming services, including YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Go to embracethespiritual.com for bonus content and a list of upcoming episodes. To book an aura regression, raw Reiki, or Akashic reading with Dawn, go to her website, alchemy-sacredsound.com. And to book an aura regression, raw Reiki, Akashic reading, or to do a home or pet clearing, visit Michelle on her website at energeticembrace.com.
With infinite love and gratitude, thank you for joining us.